Boko Haram kills soldiers, burns churches in Adamawa. Residential houses, hospitals, shops, and vehicles are also touched by the terrorists. The army on Sunday confirmed the death of a soldier. The burnt places of worship are a parish of the Living Faith, aka Winners Chapel, and Ecclesia Yanua, a Nigerian EYN church. Last month, Boko Haram terrorists beheaded Reverend Lawan Andimi, chairman of the Michika local government area branch of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Adamawa State. But as the level of insecurity rises nationwide, a former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, said, "Prayer can solve problems better and faster than generals and soldiers can do with physical weapons." Governor Amadu Fintiri on Sunday visited Garkida to sympathize with the people. However, the 23 Armored Brigade of the Nigerian Army in a statement also said another soldier was injured by troops of 232 Battalion who engaged the insurgents in gun duel. The statement by Major Haruna Mohammed Sani, Assistant Director of Army Public Relations, the 23 Armored Brigade, indicates that the destruction would have been more extensive, but for intervention of the troops who killed some of the insurgents. The statement reads, "Gallant troops of 232 Battalion of 23 Armored Brigade under Operation Lafia Dole deployed in Gakida, Gombe local government area of Adamawa State had thwarted a planned criminal attack on the peaceful town on February 21st, 2020 by some criminals, Boko Haram terrorists. The terrorists besieged the town in about 7 gun trucks and a number of motorcycles, setting some buildings ablaze and causing unrest within the community. Instinctively, the gallant troop mobilized and intercepted the criminals, advanced and engaged the marauding criminals, unleashing high volume of fire, leading to the elimination of several of the criminals, while others withdrew in disarray, many of them with gunshot wounds, as evident in the trail of blood along their withdrawal route. Regrettably, one gallant soldier paid the supreme price, while another soldier was wounded in action. The wounded soldier has since been evacuated to a military medical facility and is positively responding to treatment. The statement added that the commander of the 23 Armored Brigade, Brigadier General Sani Mohammed, who visited the troops in Gakida on Saturday, congratulated them for their fighting spirit, but warned them to be vigilant as the terrorists may plan a reprisal due to the casualties they suffered. General Gowon and the Emir of Ilorin, Alhaji Ibrahim Sulu Gambari, have advocated prayers are the surest means to ending the spate of killings and other forms of violent crime in the country. Gowon, who is the national chairman and convener of Nigeria Praise, spoke in Kokin LCC Millennium Quarters, Yelwan Gadagama venue of the Northeast Zonal Prayer Rally in Bauchi State. "Let us be assured that our prayers are not in vain. I can say this with every authority that prayer can solve problems faster than generals and soldiers can do with physical weapons," he told the rally participants. He lamented the spate of insecurity and activity of the insurgents and called on God to guide President Muhammadu Buhari and his deputy Osibanjo Yemi in tackling the problems. "I have no doubt in my heart that God will honor our collective prayers and intercession for our dear nation and heal our nation of our affliction, the former head of state added. So, people, this is what is happening in Nigeria, in Adamawa State today. Over the weekend, Boko Haram, they attacked the state again. They burnt houses. They killed one soldier at a point in time, and another one was injured. But obviously, the soldiers, they killed some of the Boko Haram guys as well. And the insurgency is still going on in Nigeria. You see, it still boils down to this insecurity issue we've been hammering every day in Nigeria. So these guys, they won't relent at all. So the federal government needs to look for a way to curb this. We need to look for a way to get these guys to stop the insurgents in Nigeria, because, I mean, this is actually getting out of hand right now, you see. Well, we can't say too much. We've been saying this every now and then, every now and again. We've been shouting out to the president, to the government to look into this insurgency in Nigeria. But still, we haven't had a headway yet. And we don't know the strategies that these guys are putting in place for these things to be curbed. But obviously, our people are dying every day. I mean, things are getting worse. And these guys are even threatening people, threatening the government to come for them and all that. It's appalling. It's appalling in Nigeria. We don't want to say too much today, but obviously, this is what is happening in Adamawa State. And they've burned down 2 churches, and they're just burning houses, making the people of Nigeria uncomfortable, which is not the best thing to do. But anyway, this is what is going on now. This is what is going on. This is what went down throughout the weekend in Adamawa State. We're just reporting this so that people will be aware, so that Nigerians will be aware, and the federal government can hear this as well and think of strategies and ways to curb this insurgency in Nigeria. Our former head of state, General GOWON, who is the convener of Nigeria Praise, has advised and says Nigeria should pray that fasting and prayer does more than the soldiers and the military can do. I quite appreciate what he has said as a former head of state. But again, I would like to say that it's not just fasting and prayer, but putting in strategies and everything that would make this work. Fasting and prayer is quite good. God will help us. Nigeria will turn a new leaf, and Nigeria will be good. But we need to put in strategy. Any nation of the world that grows must be strategic in what they're doing. Fasting and prayer alone would not solve the problem, but we have to be strategic. We have to look for ways to curb this insurgency, and hence we're crying out that the government should look into ways of curbing this, whilst we pray. We can't just pray and fold our arms and say it's going to work. No, we have to, whilst we're praying, we are putting in strategies. We are making sure we are getting the military ready. We are going in there to make sure that this insurgency is stopped by all means. So thank you very much, Nigerians. Thank you for all those that have subscribed. We do appreciate your subscription. For those that haven't subscribed yet, please do press the subscription button and also the notification bell so you can get the news firsthand as we get them. Please like, share, and subscribe so you can get this news again firsthand as we get the news. Thank you very much. Bye.